Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say,
Hey. It's the Sugarbowl. I'm Eli.
I'm Chris.
And this is Season 1, Episode 4, DW's Imaginary Friend and Arthur's Lost Library Book.
Thank you so much for joining us and making it this far.
I'm out of breath from dancing.
I think that's just, we're always going to start a little bit tired.
Yeah, it's always going to sound like that. There's going to be that first sentence of mine, like I almost didn't make it. I think it sounded like, I can't wait to listen back and just hear like how little I exercise. Immortalized.
And the fact that chair dancing has exhausted you and you
Yeah.
can tell it through an audio medium.
And honestly, like you couldn't tell, but I was not moving my legs underneath the table. I wasn't. It was just arm.
It was torso on up.
Honestly, torso was like holding everything together. Arms mostly.
Just a lot of little shrugs, some wrist.
Yeah, I had some wrists. I made a full turn. Yeah, I'm still tired. I'm exhausted. But I'm so ready.
Take a breath.
I'm so ready to talk about these two episodes. Chris, you got the first one.
I sure do.
So let's just roll into this, boy.
I love it. Let's dive in.
Let's dive.
DW's Imaginary Friend. We open
Nadine.
up. Nadine. Which, just even remembering the name,
Yeah.
I kind of went, oh, yeah. I completely forgot that this was a character that existed.
Yeah. There are really so many. I just clicked on the Wikipedia randomly to look up something else, and I saw the list of characters, and it's massive, and they all have first and last names, or a lot of them do, in a whole entry. I imagine a lot of them are for the newer episodes, but
Even in the second part, which you're going to cover, Sue Ellen has a last name, Armstrong.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
And Sue Ellen Armstrong.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, of course she has a last name. Everybody does. But
The real people.
Before-
Animals, people.
before we
humans.
dive in, Eli, did you ever have an imaginary friend?
I sure did. Of course.
Yes!
Of course. I don't really remember. Honestly, like, I don't even know how. Oh, this is weird. I don't think he had a name. Or no, he did, but it wasn't, like, pronounceable. I don't know.
Ooh.
Like, in my head, I could sort of, like, I don't know. I don't want to say call for him. I don't know. This is like
You just
pre-relationship.
projected into the astral plane, and
Right.
he appeared.
I mean, pretty much. Like, it was more of a feeling than it was a name. But I mean, that's how names start, right? Like, I look at you, and my brain is like processing. Oh, Chris, you know. So like, I wish I had a name. But the main tenet of this guy was that he was awful at everything.
Ooh.
He was very bad. I remember he pooped his pants. That was his big thing that he was very bad at.
Did you? What was was that just to make you feel like better about yourself?
so.
Like, well, at least I'm better than unintelligible guttering noises over here.
It wasn't guttering noises.
Look, everybody, pooped his pants.
His pants. I don't know if it was necessarily like I have to do like a spirit chant to bring him out. But it was just more like, I don't know. I couldn't even explain it. That's a deep box in my brain. Like there's a lot of dust.
A lot of dust
on this
back there.
thing. So
I had one. I
what's
didn't
yours?
name
No
them
name.
either. I wonder if that's a common thing or not, or if we were
Whoa.
just leaps and bounds ahead of the game.
Please tweet at us and tell us all about your imaginary friends. Wow, I would love to get a
That would be
conversation going about
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
Like an honest, we're not making fun of anybody. It's not like imaginary friends are for babies. Or whatever.
But no, they are, like we said, they're a formative part of everybody growing up.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing for people to have them.
As we see in this episode,
Mhm.
TW is treated with respect, mostly by mom and dad. Arthur doesn't seem to care as much.
Yeah.
but that's understandable.
All I remember about my imaginary friend was that I kind of knew that he wasn't real, but I wanted to be a part of the fad. Like, oh, I've heard
Me
some
too,
other people.
honestly. And I honestly
them.
think I saw this episode at some point and was like, oh,
That sounds dope. I want my own Nadine
I like that magic sound effect. That's pretty cool.
to boss around and
Ooh, spinning around.
appeared
Look at
out of
that hair.
nowhere. That's the
Cool
power
hair.
of imagination.
A cool sound effect.
So we start off this episode. everyone's in the kitchen. It looks like the mom and dad. It sounds like dad's got a catering gig going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're running around, just very wild.
It's got a mad catering gig going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Plates
huge
on
order.
plates on plates,
Stacked.
and DW this entire time is having biscotti.
Oh yeah.
Which I think was the one that you were trying to remember that one. Yes, last time we recorded, you're like, oh, she's always mispronouncing things, and then literally the next episode,
oh yeah,
she's always talking about.
You're right. I was trying to think of one. The one I was thinking of, by the way, was Statue of Liberty being Statue of Liver Trees.
Liver trees.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you looked it up.
No, I just remembered just now.
Oh, nice.
I literally just got blocked last time.
Oh, those neurons decide to fire.
Yeah. Thanks.
Now,
Nuts.
DW is in this. She's saying, "Oh, watch out for Nadine. Hey, Nadine, you can have my cauliflower." And eventually causes a ruckus when Dad accidentally steps on Nadine's tail, causing everybody to whoa,
Cartoonishly
flailing
almost
around.
dropped.
Bowl of biscotti flies into the air and freezes right above
Oh,
Arthur's head.
I love that so much when
And
I saw
Arthur-
it again. It got me. I was like, it's just a great little effect. I liked it.
Arthur turns to the camera, says, "Little sisters."
Has this ever happened to you?
Oh no!
You're probably wondering how I got here. That's what I meant to say. Probably wondering. Record scratch.
Little sisters, little brothers, little sisters. You may think that they're fun, but they're not, especially since she got this imaginary friend. And then the biscotti falls on his head,
And
covered
the rock
in
music.
noodles, and goes to clean up the noodles. And all of a sudden, phone rings, bursts down the stairs. It's Buster. Turn your TV to Channel 4, folks, because the Hurley Twirl.
Is it Hurl-a-Whirl?
Hurley Twirl?
I think it's Hurl-a-Whirl.
Or is it Whirl?
Whirl.
Girl.
Earl Grey
Hot.
tea.
Now, this is a big deal because this is a new ride at
Yes.
Wonder World, the apparent theme park, amusement park that's maybe going on the other season as the year-round carnival in Elwood when you want to get out and, hit some bigger attractions.
That's like the carnival is the off season, and then normally it's I guess you just install the rides. That doesn't make sense. I didn't make any sense just now. Ignore me.
And this ride, I'll be honest, I remember that looking awesome when I was a kid, and it still looked really awesome.
I was terrified. I did not want to go on the Hurl-a-Whirl. No way. Like the flipping upside down section, and it looks fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is not. It's not like the swinging ship or whatever. Like
the galleon.
Yes, we are whipping straight up. We're hurling and we're whirling.
And twirling.
I was like not a fan. I was always so afraid to go on those rides. My dad, or no, this is like kind of similar. My family went on a boating trip once. So my grandparents lived next to it's a lake in Nevada. I don't remember.
Tahoe?
Lake Mojave.
No, that was the only lake I know that was in Nevada.
That's close. It's like almost all the same letters. I'll give you that. And I hated like those like physical entertainment, I guess. So like a merry-go-round all the way up to a roller coaster, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was into like a cool video game where I'm just seated perfectly
Stationary.
still, but the thing I'm watching is moving fast. Like that's fun. But I was so insistent that I didn't want to do the tubing. My grandfather was like, "I will give you $5," and I was like 6 years old, which is
$5 whole.
That's more money that I'd ever even
for me
been able to pronounce in my life. And I said no because I really didn't want to do it. And I didn't ride a roller coaster until I was 18. Yeah,
Dang.
not one, not even like a baby coaster, like a easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I rode like 8 that day, and I haven't since.
You just decided that, well, I gotta
I
make up
enjoyed
for
it.
lost time. Yeah, roller coasters are fun.
I enjoyed it, and I know what it is now, and I don't want to do it again.
It had its time.
Yeah, I really did
And
enjoy
the time
once
has
I did.
passed. I remember going to whatever the one is up in Minnesota, Valley Fair, and there was the Wild thing, and it was the big roller coaster, and I was right at that border age when I could have ridden it, and I decided last minute I chickened out, and I went on the Mild thing. which was the kid version that was right next door to the wild thing. And let me tell you how ashamed I felt.
So
being like a head taller than all the other kids on this ride.
Is it Arthur ages? So like you're 1 year older and a
and I had a whole head taller on all those kids.
They had to bring a special attachment to the seat to accommodate.
It's like the opposite of a booster seat. They brought out a shovel and dug into the metal, and then kind of like squished me in.
Compact your spine, sir.
Yes, of course. I'm ready for the mild thing.
The mild thing.
It was such a great name. So
wow, I can't believe they have that right next to the wild thing.
Yeah,
that's
like great marketing.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just marketing for the wild thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just it. Ugh. I just like, I'm just imagining like Heinz ketchup, and then right next to it says Heinz Super Ketchup, and it's the same price,
but
and the same amount, and they look exactly the same.
Super Ketchup is a bigger bottle and has some loops. It's got some loop-de-loops in it.
We'll leave that up to your imagination, folks. We won't dive deeper on that. You know what a ketchup loop-de-loop is. Picture.
You're smart.
You're intelligent. You downloaded a podcast.
Or
You've
maybe
gotten
you're this far.
Streaming it, maybe.
Ooh.
Smart. Save that storage space for something
the important stuff.
Important than this.
Ouch. Ooh. We're not selling ourselves well.
That's honest. We're not Super Ketchup. You're not Super Ketchup a podcast. I'm okay with that.
Now, DW wants to go along and check out the Whirl-a-Whirl. And Arthur does not want this because it means Nadine's going to have to come along, which is understandable. She's pretty annoying up to this part. So in order to get rid of her, Buster and Arthur concoct this plan that DW has to pass these tests on the regular playground, spinning through the merry-go-round, going down the slide a whole bunch of times.
Hanging upside down.
And just to test to see if she could really handle this big kid ride. And our first clip comes from the end of this training montage.
They didn't, but I really wish they would have gone like full training montage and added like fun music. It's got everything but the like upbeat music.
DW's been passing with these flying colors, by the way.
Yes.
Nothing's going to slow her down.
How long has it been? This is nothing, DW. If you're feeling sick now, I'm not sick. I meant it's probably getting late. And you know how Buster's mother worries.
Oops. Oh no. Gotta go. Call you tomorrow.
Which, in the previous episode, we saw that DW knew that Buster left his aquatic hat thing at home. And she comes and she says, hey, your mom forgot this. And in this episode, DW says, you know how Buster's mom gets. So I wonder if DW and Buster's mom have this weird connection where
like
they...
a psychic connection?
Yeah.
Like I felt a million souls cry out. I felt a water cap not on somebody's ears.
DW is the messenger.
Oh my God.
It feels so weird that she knows so much about Buster's mom.
In the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, we haven't even met the woman yet.
Have we?
Nope. Buster's mom has not made an appearance yet.
I could have sworn we've seen her yet, but I guess you're right.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
That
is weird.
I don't know. If any of my siblings knew the tendencies of my best friend's parents, that would have been really weird for me.
That is odd. I definitely got that to that point with there are some of my friends who are like Micah, our mutual friend, Mr. Z, like I know his mom super well. Like I know like her general like food dislikes and likes, like her general political stance, you know? Like I feel like I could get her a pretty good Christmas gift.
That's a really good judgment. That's a good level of if you know a person or not, as if you were asked to provide them a present.
I won't speak at her funeral. Like I'm not that far in.
So that's the gauges. Is either you don't know a person,
don't know them at all.
You can get them a Christmas gift, and you can speak at their funeral.
Eulogy. Yeah. Where are you on the
no best friend's parent spectrum?
Yeah. Which I found super enjoyable. Like huge shout out to Jan. She's so wonderful, but just she was like one of the first adults that treated me like an adult. besides like a teacher where it's like a little too professional.
Yeah.
So like you don't want to like swear or like do something that's too casual at school, especially because you're like on the clock. But a parent can be a little bit more somebody else's parent or just an adult can be more casual.
Did you
maybe believe in myself?
Were there any that you were able to have a conversation with if you showed up early and then, oh, they're in the shower or something, and you had to wait in their living room, and you could actually like have a pretty decent conversation with the parents before they were ready to go? I found,
definitely, 100%.
I think that should be on the spectrum as well. Before maybe gift,
you're right.
But you're totally comfortable having a 5 to 10 minute conversation with them in the comfort of their own home.
Definitely.
And then be like, all right, have we covered all our bases? Do we talk about school? Yes. Did we talk about sports? Yes. Did we talk about your pet? Yes. Oh, and that's 5 minutes.
There we are.
And I'm done.
Done. Dropping you off at the house that you guys are both going to.
So, back to the episode. Arthur and DW are heading back home, and listen, it looks like Nadine's gonna be going with them to Wonderworld.
Unfortunately.
And then Buster gets a brilliant idea, which
Ding.
Arthur takes to the next level. Buster says, "Guess you're just gonna have to pretend to be sick." And Arthur says, "Wait, not me."
How was that a plan? How about just don't go?
Because then you
throw the whole thing away. That's such a I just want to watch the world burn.
If I can't have fun, nobody can have fun.
I'm just going to slash the tires. No one's going.
You're right. That is really self-defeating.
I didn't get that. I almost feel like that's a writing mistake. Like they meant to say, only if DW's sick will this happen.
Right.
And then Arthur's like, well, that's impossible. Oh. But no, I think he does say, well, why don't you pretend to be sick, Arthur? Ugh.
I like the idea of Buster just not knowing that was a bad idea until he got to Wonderworld and went, "Where's Arthur?" Oh. Oh, this was a dumb idea.
This was my idea. Oh, no.
I came up with this?
And then he sees the Hurl-a-whirl and just, it's all gone. That's hard to say, Hurl-a-whirl.
Hurl-a-whirl.
I keep wanting to just run over it.
DW mispronounces a lot, too, when we're in her shoes.
Classic DW mispronouncing things. Oh, man.
So Arthur concocts this plan, and we get this little bit of audio because DW is waiting outside to go on this trip to Wonderworld. She's got a lawn chair, and she's got a summer hat and sunglasses on.
It's not even a lawn chair. It's like a tanning. What are those
It's
called?
one of those on the side
chair.
of pool. Yeah, the really long ones where you can really stretch out your feet.
Middle of the driveway.
They can't go anywhere. She's blocked them in.
Somehow she made waiting aggressive with that play. It's a and sets out 2 chairs, one for Nadine. Powerful.
Ugh. So we get this next clip.
Yes, I will bring it up. I'm in charge of clips. Nobody
Great
can
job.
tell.
Nadine also has to pass these tests.
Yes. Coughing so much.
Can I stop spinning now, DW? If you can't take this, Nadine, you'll never be able to take the Hurly-Whirl. Keep spinning. Hey, DW.
Which, I just like this. That is exactly the same phrase that Arthur had said to DW while they were doing the training montage.
Yes.
If you can't handle it, if you can't handle me at my worst, you can't handle me at my best.
Yeah.
Feel to it. Which just shows that kind of trickle down kids just pick up everything that you tell them and will recycle it and do it to whoever they think is on just a little step lower than them. Right. It's fun to be the authority figure.
Yes. And it's wanting to be in charge and at the same time just the human nature of copying things and reflecting things from one place to another. That was so I'm just remembering all the times that my dad would say something about always wear your helmet, and then I just shoot that at other kids I'm their dad, put your helmet on, and just in the same voice, same cadence and everything,
hands on your hips.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm in charge.
Kicked back on a lazy boy in the middle of the cul-de-sac. All the other kids are on their bikes and hey,
I have an empty, like, crushed Coors Light can I found on the side of the road, filled with water. It's disgusting. Like, it tastes like dirt, but I figure that's what beer tastes like.
Imitation is since it does taste like beer. It's dirt water.
Dirt water, yeah. It's kind of lateral move. So you had siblings. I know you have
2 older sisters.
2 older sisters. Oh, so you're the youngest.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
was the one doing most of the imitating and the copying of my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And
But then you'd use it on probably your friends. Did you ever have situations where, like, one of your siblings was doing something wrong, and just as a power play, you not even like tattletale, but you just start like being the parent, like they're 2 fighting, and you're like, guys, hush, quiet, no yelling, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Because they
Oh,
would
man.
fight pretty frequently growing up. And guys, come on, just calm down. And literally standing in between them and having my adorable little hands and arms stretched out like I'm stemming the tide.
Yeah.
Just come on, we can all be friends. Come on, I need you to lower your voices. You're gonna make me cry. And that was usually what I'd pull the "you're gonna make me cry" card.
Ooh, that's the in the waistband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am not playing
That's
around.
my ace in the hole.
Not playing around. I will cry.
Yeah.
I'm-
You think you've got me backed into a corner? Wait until you see my ultimate move.
My special is fully charged.
Feel bad. Look at me. I'm crying.
I want to cut a video of young Chris crying and just putting all of the Super Saiyan like sound effects and music over top.
And have it be 3 episodes long. And just slowly more
45 minutes.
intensifying crying noises.
He's like, and in the fetal position, that's where like the spirit bomb or whatever like, goes up into the. I don't know enough about Dragon Ball Z.
I think that's right.
Spirit bomb sounds
Mhm.
right. I think that's something
I
that they
think
do.
you captured the essence of it at least.
Thank you. The spirit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Low hanging fruit. Nabbed it. Anyway.
I'll pluck that from that tree. Arthur convinces DW that Nadine might have chickenpox. So Nadine's going to have to stay at home. Which happens. They go to a Wonder World, and Nadine's there. DW's real upset about it. They get in this pretty decent fight between DW and Arthur, where we got to go back. We got to get Nadine. She's just pretend. Yeah, but you said you saw her. I lied.
Oh, yeah.
Hard
The
move.
teeth kind of come out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot on the line. It's one of the more high-stakes situations for Arthur and DW
Yeah.
so far. A whole day of amusement park is on the line. And a person, quote-unquote.
You're right. Sometimes
An
there,
imaginary
sometimes
person.
not.
An imaginary person.
Of course, Dad has an amazing solution to this. He opens
What's
up
that?
What's this back here? Opens up the trunk. Nadine was here the whole time.
Nadine!
He even looks at the camera at one point and just with a face that also says, "Oh, I know how to get us out of this situation."
Yeah.
And magically, Nadine's been in the back of the car this whole time.
Nails it.
So they go into the amusement park, and it seems all is fine, all's good. Arthur and Buster get to ride the Hurl-A-Whirl.
Mm-hmm.
They get plugged in by a man that sounds suspiciously like
Suspectively.
Ratburn,
Yeah, that's definitely him.
and they hop on the ride. And this is our next clip.
This
Buster's
is
not
definitely
so
a big earworm for people who've seen the show.
Oh, we're gonna die! Let's pick our speed. Whirl, twirl, blend, whip, liquefy. Liquefy!
Just gonna listen to his music for a little bit. It's almost like a beach surf guitar. Alright, that's enough of that. I love the liberal use of brass in all of Arthur music. There's
It's
a lot of
full
horns.
orchestral.
It's great. They reuse a ton of it, which you talked about a little bit, but I love it.
To amazing effect.
It's great. It's not digitized. It's real instruments, probably.
Mhm.
This is the mid-90s. They're not doing midis, right?
Probably
For
not.
the PBS show, we're breaking out the full. But yeah, liquefy.
Liquefy. And whenever there was something really hardcore in these episodes, I remember that hard
That
guitar.
riff. Yeah.
Just straight into it, which
Ugh,
I love.
it's great.
They-
It pumps you up. It And like, I
it
feel
immediately sets the mood of
This is awesome.
Yeah. People, I feel like that's my biggest complaint with modern. Not my biggest complaint, but I have so many complaints. But with a lot of modern shows is when the music, like nobody cared. Like it was like, well, I guess we have to put music in, and it's just like the most general purpose, like exciting, like taking a bit of time to use that because like, oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to say is music really means a lot, and it helps set the tone because I'm sitting in my house, and it's the end of the day. But in the show, someone's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
So
can you convey that?
Can you put me in that stressful situation with music? Of course. We've all cried to a song. You can do it.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh,
Remember me, though I have to travel
Not
far.
right now.
Remember me. Each
going
time you
Super
hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms again.
This is good content, right?
Remember me.
People are enjoying this?
Yeah. Give us a shout out right now in your
Please.
house or in your car. Just go, I'm listening.
I care. Yes. Put a thumbs up out your window. We have the satellites watching every phone that's downloaded. Anyway, so they get off the Hurl World.
Yep, they get off the Hurl World. They ride on it one more time. Careful there, bud.
No, I'm fine. Now.
And Francine comes up to Arthur and says, you want to ride the Hurl Whirl? And they've ran out of orange tickets to go on it. But DW shows up with the parents, and Nadine's got a gift for you. And Arthur just wants to get out of Dodge. Like, no, please, I've had enough of this annoying imaginary friend. And Francine doesn't understand why he's being so mean. Turns out Nadine and DW had found some more orange tickets and give them to Arthur so he can ride the Whirl, Hurl,
Hurly
Whirl. I'm never going to get it right.
Jerry curls.
And gets the tickets. Nadine really wants to be your friend. She does. She did. And it's a really nice moment. It's very
tender.
sweet. Arthur gives DW and Nadine the green tickets for all the baby rides and agrees to go on one last ride with them, the bumper cars, where Arthur just gets wrecked.
Absolutely wrecked. Like, what is Arthur? Because Arthur is apologizing. He's touched by that Nadine / DW is kind of like forgiven him, but also just always liked him. And that kind of takes him aback, so he promises to go on a ride, right? And DW doesn't she do like a Annie ride? Like kind of setting up that it's going to be like the worst one. Mm-hmm. And then it's the bumper cars, which I feel like Arthur would like.
It's high stakes and it's
a little violent.
Yeah,
like it's kind of physical, like violent. Like
apparently, he just also is bad at driving.
Oh man, another thing.
Just add it to the list.
Yikes! Oh my gosh, you think there's a newer episode where he learns how to drive?
No,
but he doesn't
way.
age. He doesn't
Right.
age. He has to always be.
I bet you there's a flash forward where he eventually learns how to drive.
No, man. But he'd have to be bad. But then it's the bumper cars. But yeah, he does get wrecked. I just find that odd that it wasn't like the merry-go-round or like maybe something very feminine.
Their own mild thing. That's just really small ride, like the Wonderworld's own mild thing as opposed to the wild thing.
What would that be called? If it's the Hurl Whirl, or it's the Fling and
Sing? The burp and chirp.
Stop. Those are both really good.
Oh man,
The Fling.
the fling and sing. I think
I like that
I'm a big
lot.
fan of the fling and sing.
I kind of feel like it's not even like it's so mild that it's just like a boomerang that whistles when you throw it.
Wow, this is how pleasant. Oh, how nice.
Does it come back? No, it hit somebody once, so we made sure that they just landed safely in the field. Oh no, I think one hit somebody. I heard it.
Whose whistling boomerang is this? What the heck? That concludes DW's imaginary friend, but I'm sure this isn't the last that we've seen of Nadine.
I think I'm going to create a soundboard so we can like play some of the sound effects.
Please.
I don't know.
Do that.
I don't know if I want to because sometimes that's really annoying in a podcast, especially if you jump in Like, have you heard Tom Segura's Your Mom's House?
Yes, and it's so
It
overwhelmingly full of them.
And there's an episode where he kind of explains almost all of them, and it's fairly recent. And somebody told me, like, okay, if you're going to jump in, hop on this episode. You pretty much get caught up in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all really funny. And if I had listened from day one,
you know all the inside jokes.
I would love that they kept using all the sound effects. But when you just jump in randomly, you're like, this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to become that, but some of the, I don't
just
know.
Sprinkle them in.
Some of the earworms in this show are
It'd
just
be worth having.
excellent. And we've got some fun ones coming up.
Sure do.
In
Arthur's Lost Library book.
Lost. The title's literally right in front of me, and I was like, oh, what was it called? Arthur's Lost Library book. So Arthur is hanging out at the library, as he often does. I was going to say, like, were you like a library fiend? I was homeschooled.
Oh, yeah.
And libraries are your second home because it's almost like daycare a little bit, because there's an adult to like make sure you don't die or kidnapped or whatever.
Hate if he got suffocated underneath that book. Gotta watch out.
You just make sure, if a pile of books falls on you, you won't be there for like more than an hour. Someone will walk by eventually. But so like when your parents go into town to do this or that thing, or if you have to like for me, it was always like I would go to school. Like I would go to real school for like a couple classes. And most homeschoolers do that. Like you take
some of your extracurriculars too, like band or
sports,
vocal.
Band. If you want to do more complicated math or science, that's why I went. So I wanted to take an engineering course. My parents can't really. My dad's like a photographer. My mom's an English teacher. Like that was not going to happen. So it was always like school, and then I'd sit at the library for like 2 or 3 hours, almost every day. But it was like I loved it.
Yeah,
I could tell you, there's comic books in the library, guys.
Graphic
DVDs,
novels, video games you can rent from there too. They're great,
games, unfortunately. But there's like music. There was a TV that you could just watch movies in the library, and you get headphones. Yeah, and they did have computers later on that had some games, but they're like really educational and terrible.
Math Blaster.
There are like magazines, so I mean, it's a library. There's so much good stuff in there. I haven't been in a library in a long time. Makes me
just
sad.
went today.
Nice. So I was about to say, like, to your, you're continually a library fiend.
Yeah, I volunteered at mine. Like they gave me a little job at the desk for a couple of years, and the librarian name was Miss Bell, and then she got remarried, and her name changed to Miss Ball.
No.
Literally was one vowel change, so I could never remember, okay, is it Bell or Ball,
Which
Ball
did
or
it
Bell?
Change to?
I can't remember. But either way, she was incredibly informative. I loved going and hanging out with her, and she'd like let me stamp some of the books for some of the kids that were checking them out. And when I was in college, I would go back to the library maybe a couple times a year and just chat with her, see how things were doing.
Oh, that's so neat.
So she was a really strong influence. Thank you, Miss Bell Ball.
Thank you, Miss Ball Bell Ball.
I think it's Bell.
She's the bell of the ball, dude.
Ew.
Oh my gosh.
I hope it's in that order because that's how I'm going to remember it.
Bell Ball
from now on.
That's how you explained it originally. So let's just say
let's roll with that. If
she hears this, she'll know to like, go back and set the record straight so that this podcast is correct.
Just a quick heads up.
Quick pop, just in the time machine for just a moment, so we can get this fixed. There's no time machine, and there's no satellites watching everyone who downloads this podcast.
Nope, definitely not.
So
continue using your devices.
Arthur's in the library. Everybody loves to read. Man, I'm just thinking about how much I miss reading now.
It's pretty great.
It's great.
Once you
Libraries
stop, it's hard to pick back up. But once you got to do it, and then it's like any other drug, baby. You just give me some more. How many chapters you got for me?
Oh, come on, man. I'll take a paperback. I'll take anything.
Oh boy, you must be truly desperate.
I'm so desperate. I'll take a 3-ring binder with the pages just hole punch.
Just a whole bunch of loose sheets for me, please.
Loose leaf, please. So Arthur's in the library picking up a bunch of books, and he's just talking about how books, the library has the books for everyone, and the librarian lets Arthur know about a special Scare Your Pants Off book, which is, of course, a parody of R.L. Stine's classic Goosebumps series. I was not allowed to read those growing up, but I've watched a lot of like people reviewing like the TV episodes, and
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of people talk about the book.
Goosebumps.
I enjoyed that. I don't even know it that well, but yeah. So Arthur, the librarian like loudly says like, "Oh, the new Scare Your Pants Off book is in," and everyone in the library in like a very obviously like single animation clump all start running, like all the kids, like Binky, Francine, Muffy, and everybody start running toward the book, and Arthur just, I feel like he runs slower, but he gets there first. It doesn't really make sense. Arthur should be bad at everything, but somehow he's good at grabbing the book first.
He needs to be good so he can be bad later.
It's true. We see how that happens. So he gets the book on top of like 8 other ones, and all of his friends are like, rightly so, like, why don't you just get like 4 and then let one of us get the Scary Pants Off, and then you can get it later when you're done with the other ones. He's like, no, I'm going to read them all. And he has like just like his dad with the thing of plates from the previous episode, Arthur has the thing of books, and he just puts them on his handlebars. Does he have a backpack?
Bold move.
You go to school, Arthur. I've seen your backpack. I know you have one. Why didn't you bring it to the library? And as he's riding away with his Leaning Tower of Literature.
That was really good.
Thanks. And
just
a branch.
Hey, appreciate that phrase. It was a really good phrase. Take a moment. Thank you.
Thanks. And then a branch knocks off the book on the top of the stack, which is, of course,
The Mysterious Hand.
And so that's the name of the Scary Pants Off book. And that gives us our theme for the first themed episode.
Yeah.
It's barely themed, but it is themed. Like, later on in the show, we have, like, full-on Law and Order ripoffs or, like, parody themes from other media. But this one, we have a little intro from DW for every sequence. I think there's 4.
Yep.
But I'm just going to play the first one. Go watch the episode and listen to them all.
Please do.
You should be watching the episodes anyway, but I love these little things. Got a little music lead up.
Chapter 1. Arthur goes to the library.
So we get... I don't know why those are... That tickles me so much. I thought about it a lot. I don't even know if I could put words to it. I just love that...
Hey,
that something as
that's
insignificant as a... It's just setting the stage. That's it. And somebody took a decent amount of time and put some love into it.
right.
We have DW doing a fun voice, and a couple of them are really funny.
Yeah.
Like the 4th one where it's like, it's lost.
Face it.
Get over it. Whatever. It's so dramatic.
Mhm.
I really want to look up the voice actor for DW because she really hits it out of the park,
Props.
man.
Do you think we could ever get them as a guest star?
Don't even say that. You know that, I mean, public TV, that's the kind of person that like does that one project and then goes back to
Normal life.
annuities or whatever it is that they. I just picked one random word, so they're
You
probably
mean royalties.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
Is
it's
it like
a
music? I don't know.
nonprofit, so like I'm guessing not. I bet a lot of the labor was donated for this show
Dang.
because it's
You might be
donations.
right. Uh-huh.
I don't know. We'll have to do an episode on like just the back end of the show.
That would be fun.
Like just a show in
Mhm.
general. How did it start?
its conception to
Yeah.
what we saw
I think
today.
that'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
But anyway, so the book falls off of Arthur's bike, and we see a hand pick it up. A suspiciously orange long-sleeve shirted hand.
So who wears orange
could it
long-sleeved
be?
shirts?
So Arthur goes home.
Find out.
Arthur goes home, and we see a montage of him, a combination of reading the books and also taking very poor care of them.
Mm-hmm.
We find one of them is in his laundry hamper.
And the title of that one,
Oh, yeah, the title is what?
The French-English Dictionary. Arthur, I found this library book. What are you doing with a French and English dictionary?
He talks other points in the episode about, I need to finish that one first. You're going to finish
a
dictionary?
A-A-R-D-V-A-R-K. I'm sure that's probably why he got it. He's like, well, what's the French word for aardvark? And I can
need
come
to
up with
know.
a fun phrase with that.
Hit it. Man, that is so funny. So he keeps reading, but also mostly not really taking care of his books. And his friends are time is passing, and we're getting to the point where the books are going to be due. And all of his friends kind of start to like, okay, well, are you going to let me borrow it when you're done? Or have you even started to read it yet? And all of this stuff.
For you folks wondering at home what aardvark is in French,
yeah,
it's aardvark.
It is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh. So the French translation of this episode just cut that original audio? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
It must have. So if you're in France right now, you can relate to that song we just did. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
This is
we
a
are
global
already,
market. That
International Nostalgia Cast.
Wow.
We've made it.
That's our podcast network, International Nostalgia Cast. Wow.
Hey,
that sounds like something a dad is very disappointed in. This is what you spent my investment money on.
Hey, what's your son up to these days? He's started his own international.
As he's saying this, he's fishing out a business card.
I think I have one of them here somewhere. It's
called,
International Nostalgia Cast. They review mid-90s content, and I'm so sorry.
Why?
Because he's a failure, all right? Did you want me to say it out loud?
Get this man a shot.
Back to what you're saying. Books.
Yeah, so everybody is kind of like his parents, his family and his friends are all noticing that he hasn't read the Mysterious Hand yet, the Scary Pants Off book. And I think Arthur wanted to read that one last. So he finally is getting to it, all right, I'm going to read it. I only have 2 days left. I'm just going to blow through it. And then he can't find it. And he's looking everywhere. He's tearing up his house. He comically, his mom finds the book in the laundry hamper. So when he starts to look for the Goosebumps book, he immediately looks at the laundry hamper.
Smart move.
I thought that was funny. I'm totally irresponsible. I probably put it in here. I know I'm irresponsible because it happened yesterday. I found a book in here, so I'm going to try it again. But of course, it's not there. It's not anywhere in the house. He dropped it. So he enlists. He decides that he needs to. Or he decides that somebody stole it. Mm-hmm. He's like, well,
the most logical next step.
Honestly, everybody else wanted it so bad. I don't really find that.
It's
to
a
be,
motive.
Everybody is, annoying him about trying to get the book. So I buy it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, maybe somebody did take it, and try to read it before it came back to the library. So Arthur feels like, I'll do a little private eye, little detective action and figure out who did it. So he enlists the help of Binky because he would never read a book.
Clearly. He's the bully. He's the only one you can trust.
Yes. You trust a bully, man. Always trust a bully.
There's
nothing
that
to lose.
Oh my gosh, there's that line where it says, "Yeah, cuz you don't read much, not even the panels in the comic books." And Binky says, "If it was good enough to be on TV, that's all I care about," or something like that.
Yeah, it's like if
I needed to know, it would have been on TV.
It would have been on TV, which is a pretty funny line, I think. People say that now, like kids these days.
Mm-hmm.
Just last night, I was at dinner with my girlfriend's family, and her cousin's boyfriend. They were in a separate conversation, but I just heard him say, "Do people still buy DVDs?" It's not quite related, but it's yeah, man. I don't know. I buy physical media. Not everything is so disposable that you can only have it on your computer for literally long enough to play it, and then it's gone.
Right.
Some stuff
I've
is
consumed
actually
this trash.
It's gone. Ugh. So yeah, Binky is going to help Arthur find this person, and so they just start in. I don't think we see Arthur do anything.
He climbs a tree.
Oh yeah, he does spy on he spies on the brain. He looks at a couple people who are reading and sees if that's the book or not. But that's it. Binky assaults people almost. Oh, okay, not really, but he he looms several
very
people.
menacingly with his big shadow potato head looking over top of them.
His what's the football head? What's that character? Arnold. Hey Arnold. He looks kind of. He's got that style of
just
head.
deflated a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a little lumpy.
Oblong. It's been left at the bottom of the play bucket.
Yeah. Oh, it's had a hole in it for a long time, but
we'll just slap some duct tape on it. It's fine.
It's fine. They don't bounce it. They just kick it on the ground anyway. No one's throwing. There's no Tom Brady's here. Binky makes some kids run away in a puff of smoke and cry. And no book is found. So what do they do next?
That's it. I mean, the parents pretty much tell him, like,
pay for it. They narrow it down to Sue Ellen Armstrong. You were just saying before the podcast that it's so neat how they give these characters last names. I thought that was a nice touch.
Very nice touch.
Take it, and our writers remember that, and later on Sue Ellen Armstrong. So narrow it down to I think Buster, Sue Ellen, and Francine.
Yep.
And he kind of directly confronts all of them, and they're all massively upset to be implicated in this crime.
Me? How dare you?
Buster is really pretty hurt. And I think that's what makes Arthur think like, oh my gosh, like it must be something else.
Yeah.
And also he's ruled out all of his suspects that he said could be the only ones. So he tells his dad that what the situation is. And, like, I can't find it. And his dad's like, you never brought that one home.
I remember seeing it. Like, there was no mysterious hand.
Yeah. It's like, what? It's like, no, I remember
the French-English dictionary and thought, man, my kid's weird.
What a player. I wish he could read better. So maybe he'd get something out of this. But I love that little, like, a kid wouldn't really notice this turn of phrase, but the dad's like, I looked through them. And, like, that would be unusual if it was your roommate. But it's like, I like how the dad's like, I'll just make sure there's no, like, Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. My library had that. I never looked at it because I'm a good boy.
I'm so proud of you.
But they had every Sports Illustrated for, like, 10 years. And they just, you could tell which one was the swimsuit one because it stuck out a little bit farther from the,
oh, yeah.
It was a little bit bigger of a magazine.
The corners of the books were definitely a little more,
I don't even know.
Through.
That's why I didn't want to touch him.
They were dog-eared.
I didn't know. I didn't want to get into that world.
Check
My mom.
Page 39. That's the... There's a sticky note on it that says, page 39, wink, wink.
Yeah, don't, 30 or 0.
It's got a really good article, if you know what I'm saying.
Honestly, XI through page 38, wash. Might as well just rip it out of the whole magazine.
All you're going to need.
But it's a library, so I wouldn't do that.
You're going to have to pay a steep fine for that.
Steep. Which is what Arthur might have to do. He realizes that the book is just completely lost. So he realizes it's lost, yeah. And so, kind of like the fossil episode, we see like nightmares and dealing with holding an awful secret that he stole from the library. And Arthur's mind is just going nuts. He thinks he's gonna, never be allowed in the library again, or they're gonna come like steal the book. We have that great noodly appendage of the law.
You can't escape the long arm of the law. And this massive Mr. Fantastic arm grabs him and drags him all the way back to the library.
Yeah. So, like, there's, like, a helicopter outside. We were just saying before the recording, like, I wish they would have said book police.
Open up. Who is it? It's the book police. Bam!
But, I mean, there's, like, 2 cop cars, a helicopter, multiple officers on the scene, and then the arm comes in on top of all of that and whisks Arthur away to be judged. And the librarian gives us, like, a big, like, you're going to be fine. Late. I think she stamps late or something. Or no, what does she stamp?
No, I don't think she stamps anything. She just says, like,
I think you're right.
Time for... We'll have to play by certain rules or something. Looms over him.
Yeah. So now Arthur has this, the book he's reading in his bed now. We cut back to his room. Same nightmare. And there's a chain attached to his book. And so his parents come in the room, and we get this great little sequence that I've clipped up here, and I'll just play it.
Yeah, you're going to listen to It's so good.
It is great. The chain starts pulling Arthur towards the library, of course. Holding on to it.
Next time,
Oh man, that's so great.
What a great line.
That voice acting is perfect because she sounds like a librarian. She doesn't like break at. I'm almost like, did you get a real librarian? Because this sounds like a,
yeah,
like
this would be fun
librarians
to do.
Yeah,
Be in a TV show, a TV librarian, really branching out.
like her voice sounds like a middle-aged. Like I don't want to stereotype librarians. Librarians can be anyone, but generally, because of the kind of
That
work
was
that you
Miss
need to
Bell
do,
of the Ball.
yeah, it's usually a belle of the ball behind the desk, handing out the keys to the study room. So man, Arthur is distraught, obviously, and he's just decided to own up to everything and just go back to the library and say that he lost the book. And so he brings his whole stack there. He puts them down. And he goes, I think the librarian's just like, "Oh, did you enjoy the books?" And he was like, "Yeah, they're fine. I guess I have to pay for the scare your pants off one. I'm so sorry."
It's $15. $10 more dollars than you could pronounce back growing up. $5.
$5.
And now imagine 3 of them.
So like $8? No. That's not how that works. So
The book is already there.
yeah, the librarian is just like, "Oh, it already just got returned today." And Arthur's bewildered and he's like, "What? Who? What? That boy over there." And which I'm like, Binky's like a full man.
Binky has been held back in the 3rd grade for a while.
Yeah, I think we do learn that he's held back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I love when we meet his parents, but I think we need a sound effect for every time I try to talk about an episode that's like 4 seasons ahead.
Hold it.
It's so hard for me not to. I need a sound effect. I need a shock collar.
Ooh, I could deal with that.
Yeah. Please donate a shock collar. Someone's got to have one that's just like,
or one of those anti-bark collars.
Yeah.
Those will work too. But we'll fine tune it.
Fine tune it to only specifics from episodes that are currently. There's just a dial. It's just like one tick is an episode.
Liquefy.
Yikes. Oh, but come on, there's a flashback in season 4.
Nope.
That's why. So it's Binky, and so Arthur runs up to him. To, "Oh, you found it! You found it!" And so one of the funniest exchanges in the whole, honestly, the whole show. I'll probably redact that as we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is so funny. I'm pretty sure the clip has the whole exchange, so I'll just play it. Arthur's running out to Binky after we know that he returned it. The book.
Binky, you found it! You found it! Who had it?
A boy from school.
Pause.
Which boy?
Me.
Pauses are hilarious.
Very funny. No, who really had it?
Me.
Well,
I
flashback.
found it on the sidewalk. I started reading it. It's really good.
It was Binky's orange long-sleeve shirt.
I never thought it was the one you lost because you'd never throw a library book on the ground.
Idiot.
But when no one else had it, I figured it might be the same one.
Why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd laugh at me.
I wouldn't laugh at you.
You just did.
Oh!
Get destroyed. Oh my God.
He literally just laughed at him 15 seconds earlier.
You just did. You
just did.
And folks, I really wish you could see the way that they drew Binky's face. It's not mad. It's like that passive aggression that I hate to stereotype it.
Self-assured or you've just proved my point.
Yeah. It's like a high level of sass. But also, I'm offended by what you just did.
Yeah.
I don't hold all, I will, it's just hilarious. Go watch the episode, guys.
Go watch it. I'm assuming you watch it along with us and, pause it at the points where we get to.
Maybe. I think watching it first and then listening to this is
yep,
optimal. So that's what we do. But especially this episode is... Oh, there's so much great stuff.
You're going to remember so many little things from this.
Lord.
this one.
Little sound effects and whatnot.
Wow.
But yeah, so Binky has this hilarious conversation where Arthur just basically has a bunch of books dropped on him.
Yeah.
Of you assumed all your friends were thieves.
Emotional books.
You're wrong about everything.
Bam.
You didn't even get to read the book.
Bam.
Yeah.
Buried under his own hubris.
Exactly. Come-uppins.
Mm-hmm.
And
can you play just Arthur's response to you just did real quick?
Sure. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Don't blab it around that I'm reading books.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And he really does laugh.
Like a belly laugh
to
at this
his
idea.
Face, and his voice cracks after that even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's so beside himself that Binky would read a book.
How dare you go beyond your stereotype, Binky? How dare you grow as a character?
Hilarious. You?
Read books.
A book? Any book. Even just one.
You probably read books like you would pretend to be Triceratops.
See, if we had a soundboard and played that one all the time, it would be awful. It would be terrible.
It would be so bad.
I would hate it. I feel like maybe you thought I was going to say that would be great.
Nope. That
No,
one
you knew
honestly
it?
would
Okay.
be pretty bad.
That would be awful. It's
Because I would hit it at the worst times
All
when you're
the
in the middle of a thought.
It's like that Jeff Goldblum thing
Yep.
on the. There's a cut where they make it longer, but even just in the original movie,
Life,
yeah, that
finds a way.
Goldblum, never change, please. Love your work.
Mm-hmm.
Love your work.
Hit us
Love
at
you.
the Sugarbowl, Jeff Goldblum. I know you listen.
Hop on to be a guest. That wouldn't be the most uncommon thing, honestly, for
He could do it.
a celebrity to well, I don't know. They probably have more important things to do than to reflect
you kidding?
back on the past.
Are you kidding me?
There's probably a lot of future things and present things going on. Not me. Chilling in the past.
Those were the best times. It's all been downhill since Arthur.
Yeah, pretty much. It's basically over for me. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's all that's keeping me going. Please.
He's got a literal tube going from his computer into his arm, folks.
Mhm.
And I can see the likes and good vibes flowing into him. He's withering away. He's basically a human raisin at this point.
Bing.
Oh,
All right.
his
I think I can
vitality
finish
is
the
just...
episode. Yeah.
He's alive again.
It was it's a favorite from a bot, but I don't discriminate. I shouldn't make it through the episode.
All likes are good likes.
Yep. Thank you. So then Arthur just learns that maybe he should not jump to conclusions,
Mm-hmm.
which I want to say that some other episodes kind of have that same line of thinking, but I like the don't stereotype that Binky won't read a book. But then they kind of ruin it with the line we just heard.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe Binky
Don't
does
tell
like to
anyone.
read. And then he's like, don't tell anybody I read books.
He's got a reputation to uphold.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Mhm.
So he'll probably keep reading.
In secret.
Under the cover of darkness.
Picking up stray books from the street and just reading what he can find. He doesn't have a library card. He is a book vulture, feasting on the reins of everyone else.
We cut to Binky sitting inside of a tree. It's almost closing time at the library. Guaranteed the 3 people that have been abusing the internet Wi-Fi will be leaving with their stack of books. Binky's perched in a tree with a fishing rod and a roll of duct tape. A large stack of books.
Comically large, like a stack of plates.
Like a stack of plates, if you're a caterer or something. Underneath the tree.
Goes the cast, the line. It sticks onto the top book.
It's the Romanian to French dictionary. Perfect.
Just what he'd been hoping
That's what
for.
I want to read cover to cover. I hope no one finds out. Into the night.
Into the night. The library closed at 6, so it's still light, but it's dark in his mind.
It's a dark life. It's a dark existence. Bolashkeve, which is what darkness is in Romanian. It's not, but some of you believed it.
Boy, you had me there for a hot second.
I didn't pull up my
You
phone
said
like
that
you
so
did.
Listen, I thought
Yeah.
it would be a good piece, and I found out actually after I pulled that up.
I
that
thought you
was
had an
wrong.
emergency, and I was like,
No, I
"Oh,
was
should
just
I
adding to
stop?"
When I said aardvark was aardvark in French, it's not. To spell it, ORYCTROPE.
Oh, so but it's pronounced the same?
Nope.
No,
I was just
that's-
100% wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Just wanted to fact check that because I know we're going to get so many tweets and
Yeah.
so many
That's how you get.
evil pieces of mail.
I'll
that-
take it. I take bot likes. I'll take those. That's traffic.
I'll take hate mail
Any
too.
news is good news. Any activity, even if it's just disparaging our level of quality, is enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Make it a compliment sandwich, though, please.
If you could.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Starving.
Withering away. Thank you so much for coming and sitting with us here in the Sugar Bowl.
Sure appreciate
Hope
it.
you enjoyed these 2 episodes.
And hey,
Have a wonderful kind of day.
see you around.